journey of a Christian writer for Season 2. In this first episode, I'll be going over 5 types of book series and serial literary terms. I will be using some index cards as I have a lot to go over, and know that I will not be able to memorize everything offhand, but I will be reading off of some index cards here and there throughout this video. Happy New Year to the writing community. For me personally, this year has been kind of rough. So far, starting out, in the beginning of the year, not long after the year had started, I actually was sick and had a fever and, was dealing with some coughing and things of that nature. But thankfully, I am doing better now. But there's been a lot just going on within my family. The medical situation did not have to do with me, but actually my dad. Some of you watching know what the situation is about and others don't, but I'm not going to go all into the details. But he is currently dealing with a pretty serious condition, and it's just been a lot going on, and I've been helping and pitching in due to the situation. And just the past few days, just me personally, and I'm sure others probably feel this way sometimes too, of just sometimes you just don't want anybody to know anything, and just, to just work in peace, instead of putting things up on social media and all those types of things, because the minute that you do, there's always somebody that has something to say, based on what you put up, or they misinterpret what you put up, or get the wrong impressions or something. There's always these things that happen the minute that you start posting stuff up online. But when you don't have to worry about all of that confusion, or, people getting all in your personal business and stuff. So I just didn't really want to share a whole lot, and to just work in peace, and just keep the outside world out, because it's just overwhelming, in some cases when you share things and whatnot. And I know when it comes to me being the complex person that I am, I'm not always understood well, and people sometimes just get me the wrong way or whatever. So, you don't have to worry about all of that when you just keep things to yourself. And sometimes, I just rather just work in silence, instead of just sharing everything that I have going on, which is something I already mentioned before, but that's just the type of person that I am, I'm not the type that just advertise everything that's going on in her life, and I really don't think it's wise for anybody to do that anyway, so but that's just my opinion. And, I just didn't really want to share a whole lot about myself. I didn't even want anyone to look at me, honestly. I just wanted to just work in peace, and in private. But yeah, because in some cases, some people might try to be helpful and stuff, but in some cases, sometimes it can just be more helpful to just leave someone alone, rather than trying to constantly tell them things. Sometimes it's just more helpful to just leave somebody alone, and not constantly telling them things, or harassing them. Because, that's kind of what it's like if a person is like kind of trying to force a friendship or a relationship or something. It becomes like a form of harassment, in my opinion. Because like me personally, if I suspect that someone just doesn't want to be bothered by me, I know I'm the type of person to know how to just back away and whatnot, instead of trying to force my way into somebody else's life. I don't really believe in doing that, and I don't think it's respectful for anybody to do that either. But, I know how to respect others' boundaries and not constantly harass a person or anything like that, because I just don't really think that's right. Even if, there's a particular individual that I would like to befriend or something, if I suspect they don't want anything to do with me, or, they don't really care about me or whatever, I just know how to back away. I don't constantly try to force a friendship or something. But I know there's different reasons why people do these types of things, but in my opinion, I just don't think it's right to do that. And as I already mentioned before, I believe in being kind and stuff to others, but I'm just not the type to be quick to call others my friend and all of that. Especially if I don't really feel like I can trust a person, But, yeah, I just don't believe in trying to force my way in other people's life. But, anyways, I'm just going to get into the actual episode. Again, I will be reading from some index cards. This first episode for season 2 is for 5 types of book series and stereo literary terms. One of the great pleasures of writing a book series is the different types of ways that writers can do them. There are 5 different types of book series in particular that writers can do, and these include static, dynamic, episodic, anthology, and epistolary. For the first, static is where there is the same characters, but each book has its own plot to be solved. This type of book series is usually mysteries or thriller series, such as the Murder, She Wrote series or the Jack Reacher series. Dynamic series is where there is the same characters throughout a series who try to accomplish a main goal across a large narrative arc that connects all the books together. Characters within this type of series also are known to change over the course of the story, in the storyline as well, with positive or negative arcs. Episodic series are made up of episodes where each book has its own standalone story and the same characters and taking place in the same story world. Each book in this particular series can be thought of as an episode, like for a broad TV show series, in a way. Some medical and police drama books are actually episodic series. Anthology, this particular series is where each book has different characters and different standalone stories, but the books share a common theme, setting, or universe. Many books like these are also like collections, where it's like various authors' literary works in these types of series as well. And the last is epistolary, which is books that are a collection of books written in the form of diaries, journals, or letters by a narrative character or between two or more characters. There is also two different types of reading for book series. The first is chronological, and the second is standalone. Chronological is where books must be read in order to understand the entire storyline of a book series. But standalone is where the books have their own complete stories. Each book has its own complete stories, and the books can actually be read out of order. Now I'm going to go over some literary terms. Some serial literary terms that can be helpful for when writing a book series include complex arc, long arc, installments, overarching arc, storyline, cliffhangers, duology, trilogy, tetralogy, pentalogy, hexalogy, heptalogy, octology, ennology, and decalogy. A complex arc is where there is a main storyline for a series, and each book also has its own sub-stories or subplots to be solved. As you can see, this here is a diagram that I made of a complex arc. A long arc is a main storyline that continues between all of the books within the book series, and each book actually ends with a cliffhanger. Here is a diagram that I made of a long arc that is showing a main plot and all of the books connecting by one large goal throughout the series. Installments are the actual numbered books within a series. For example, book 1, book 2, book 3, and so forth. Overarching arc is a story arc that connects all of the books within a series. Storyline is what is, it includes the beginning, middle, and ending, and all of the major plot points or story threads that must be reached to complete the whole series. Cliffhangers are open endings to books and meant to lead into other books. These types of things, cliffhangers, can be really helpful to hook readers to a book series and influence them to want to know what happens next within the book series for each book. Now I'm going to go over some numbers of books within a series. A duology is where there is 2 books within a series. One example of this is Kim Chance's fantasy novels, Keeper and Seeker. A trilogy is 3 books within a series. That is how my highly appraised series is. It's a trilogy where the first book is about the youngest daughter, the second book is about the middle daughter, and the third book is about the eldest daughter within my series. Another example of a trilogy is Stacey Hawkins Adams' The Wind of Change series. A tetralogy is 4 books within a series. One example of this is Karen Kingsbury's Sunset series. A pentalogy is 5 books within a series. An example of these is the Redemption and Firstborn series of Karen Kingsbury's Baxter series. And a hexalogy is 6 books in a series. A heptalogy is 7 books in a series. An octology is 8 books in a series. An ennealogy is 9 books in a series. And a decalogy is 10 books in a series. Completing a book series is a great way for authors to build up a supportive reading community, but takes hard work, strategy, patience, discipline, and dedication. Nonetheless, when writers know the setup of plot, story elements, and serial literary terms, and how to use them and combine them, it gives them a fighting chance to writing a memorable series that readers will love and enjoy. But that is all that I have for this episode. It was a lot, I know, to go over, but I hope it was helpful to other writers who are interested in writing a book series. I think it's a really good thing for writers to do, especially if they want to be able to build a community around their writing and books. It is a big challenge with writing a book series, but it also can be really helpful to an author's career. I hope it was helpful. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe for more new episodes for season 2. That's all that I have for this video, and thank you for watching.